Amazing. Hi, guys.
Hey there, welcome back. I want to make a video series of us playing Five Nights at Freddy.
We do not qualify for ad campaign. Welcome back to Babel. Okay. Hey, guys.
Hi,
We're
guys,
jumping
we're
right
back.
back in.
We're literally jumping right immediately back in.
So, you guys, there has been a week in between what our last episode was and what you're hearing now, but for us, it was literally 30 seconds. We're just continuing to go through the 21 Pilots lore. So we don't really have a catch up for you guys because we have been talking for like 2 hours already.
Yeah.
So yeah, rejoin us to follow along. We are going to jump right back
Come
into
back
it.
into the lore. Come back into the
Also,
land of.
if you have not, I am going to do a little recap on what we know. But if you have not listened to part 1, you might want to go do that.
True.
There's a lot of stuff over there. I put a lot of work into this. Please go listen. We're going to get like 16 listens on each episode. I put so much work into this. Okay.
No. We're gonna get some listens because I'm
Okay.
gonna say calling all 21 Pilots fans.
I'm literally posting this to Reddit and Discord.
Do it.
Okay. So we have the end of DMA.org site. I believe it's still up, but nothing is posted on it. And it doesn't return until over 2 years later, which is crazy. So we're going to go through a little recap. I should be on the right webpage. Okay. Dima. Dima is a city on the continent of Trench. It is surrounded by a large circular wall that has 9 towers in the middle. It is split into 9 districts. Each district is ruled by its own bishop. The outside of the city is an acropolis full of neon gravestones. The city is very depressing. The album Blurry Face details life in Dima. So Blurry Face can kind of,
Oh, okay. So you can go
yeah,
back and kind of. Okay.
yeah, you can make connections. Again, not sure if that was purposeful or not. Not sure if they started building that at Blurry Face or they took Blurry Face and built from there. Not sure. Citizens can't leave the city. Dima has VIP citizens who receive special treatment from the bishops, sometimes referred to as Sacred Municipality of Dima. Trench is the in-between the land outside of Dima as the continent. Parts of it resemble Iceland. It's where the banditos have their camp or base. So banditos are out in Trench a lot. There may be a part of it that is a desert that also may or may not have a population of cheetahs. No one's really sure.
Okay.
Okay, here are some other things that we just find out.
I do have a question.
Yes.
At this point in time, have either of the band members ever commented on any of this?
I mean, yes. Tours are happening, live shows, award shows, interviews, like things are happening. I just have us like in the lore right now.
Okay, gotcha.
So they don't really add anything though outside of what I'm showing you.
Okay.
They don't talk too much in real life about it, but they do confirm or deny things, and they are
Okay.
active and interact with their fans on Twitter and Reddit and things like that.
Oh, that's nice to see.
Yeah.
Not a lot of artists
So
are like that anymore.
yeah, it's really cool. So they're sparingly active though.
Yeah.
So like things will like subtly get confirmed by like a like or a retweet from them or anything like that.
Okay.
So some other things that I think comes up on some maps later. I'm just going to throw it in here. The Redditor who put all this together. Do you see why I thought I was being confusing? Because now when I'm reading it off, it makes sense. But when you're going like little bits of information at a time, like that's how it felt to be a fan then. It was like, what is happening?
That's how I felt with the Larry thing. Like, I feel like I didn't explain it well enough because I already knew.
Sense.
Yeah.
You guys, this is just our blurry faces coming out right now.
This is just our blurry faces are just getting in the way.
I didn't think I could get any more cringe, and it's happening. Okay, so Voldsoy is an island off the shore of Trench. It has a large population of Neds. Has the little alien character in Chlorine.
This is Star Wars vibes.
I know, right? It's kind of cool. The island is referenced to the Island of Violence in the song Migraine, which is off Vessel. Paladin Strait is a bit of ocean between Voldsoy and Trench. Clancy plans on crossing it somehow. That comes up later in the story. Port Vile is a port on the shore of Trench controlled by Dima. This also comes later, and I'm not gonna, with the next album, I'm gonna skim over a lot of the music video, like story piece. You'll see why. Clancy is a character played by Tyler, but I also believe Tyler is kind of his own as well. So it's hard to tell at what points he's playing himself and at what points he's playing Clancy. Does that make sense? I don't know if anyone ever really figured that out either. Like it's hard to tell who is who character wise.
Yeah, I get that.
But Josh is his own separate character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's a resident of Dima. He's famous for writing letters and detailing his life in the city. He's famous as a rebel and member of Banditos, and they make rebellious music. So the image of like them in the Levitate music video making that music, this is their rebellion.
Gotcha. Okay.
He spent an amount of time in Dima being forced to make propaganda. This will come up later, but he has since escaped and is back to being a rebel. He is the only non-bishop who can use psychokinesis. That will come back later. We will talk about that.
Okay.
This wrap up was done after the next album. I thought it was important.
Okay.
So we could orient ourselves. The torchbearer is Josh's character. He's a member of the Banditos, maybe their leader. He's very mysterious. Don't disregard that he is currently part. Nico, full name Nicholas Bourbaki, sometimes also known as Blurry Face, is the leader of the 9 bishops. He is the scariest. I copy pasted this from a Redditor, so I thought that was funny. Okay, the Ned or the Neds. Ned, the individual,
He is the scariest.
He is. Ned is the cute little one living somewhere in Trench. His species, who could also be known as Ned, they're just called the Neds.
They're just all Neds.
Largely reside on Voltsoy. Their antlers can grow and be removed, and once removed, they give Clancy the ability to do psychokinesis. So again, we'll come back to that. And Ned stands for Neural Expansion Device. We'll come back to that too.
Okay.
The bishops. There are 9 of them. Blurryface is Nico, and all the bishops at the same time, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So Nico is like main Blurryface, but all of the bishops represent Blurryface.
Okay, gotcha.
Similar, it says here, same concept as God being the Father and the Trinity. Right?
Emilia, when you said that thing about Clancy and Tyler earlier, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're separate beings, but they're also all the same. I totally get
And again,
that.
remember
Word.
the Christian origins of 21 Pilots. Wig. Isn't this crazy?
I totally get
I'm
it.
so
Wig.
excited I'm showing you all of this.
It's
How are you
really
feeling?
interesting. I'm
Do you
feeling
like
good.
it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very, very interesting.
It's kind of weird that a like sort of emo band did all this, right?
Yeah.
Really
I had
cool,
no
though.
idea about this stuff.
Like no one else does it either. And we're not even done. We have so much more left. So the Banditos, they're a group of rebels who aim to escape and overthrow Dima. They wear yellow, which the bishops can't see. Okay. Vialism, the religion celebrated in Dima. The end goal of the religion is for one to take their own life. That's most of what you just need to know. The glorious gone refers to those who have committed to vialism and ended their lives.
Okay.
They each get a neon gravestone around the city. Their bodies are referred to as available vessels for psychokinesis, which is essentially cloning in a way.
That's scary.
So, and again, we'll get into this. So where we stopped in the timeline, like once the chlorine music video dropped and the site, like no one really heard about anything again, we didn't know some of this information.
Okay.
I just think it's important I give it to you now, so going forward, we don't still have the confusing timeline stuff.
Yeah.
So, psychokinesis is an art the bishops use to possess dead bodies, usually of the glorious gone. They like use those who committed themselves to their religion to come back.
Okay, so I do have a question. So the
Yes.
bishops are kind of hypocritical because they're pushing this religion, but none of them have
Yes.
fully committed, if you know what I mean.
So it is a critique on religion a little bit as well.
Okay.
Take that as you will.
Okay.
I'm not going to say much, but take that as you will.
I
Also,
love
keep
a
in mind,
critique on
guys,
religion.
I did not come from a religious background, and Lucy, you did. So this is really interesting, the connections that are being made right now.
No,
I like some of this. I didn't even think of it in relation to Christianity.
I love biblical references or
It's really
like
cool.
religious references. It's so interesting
Yeah.
because it's
Also,
like
I believe Tyler
regardless,
and Josh both are Christian, or at least spiritual.
yeah,
Continue.
whether you're Christian or not, it's played a huge like it's like a very big like pop culture thing as well.
Right.
So it's interesting to see how people take it and
Yeah.
use it in art or like critique it in art. It's cool.
Yeah. So psychokinesis is the ritual used to possess dead bodies, usually from the glorious gone. But we think just Clancy can also use it from the Ned's antlers.
Okay, so the Neds hypothetically could give everyone that power.
Hypothetically, but as far as we know, only Clancy has been able to do it. And we'll
Okay,
see this later.
only
This comes
Clancy's
later.
tapped in.
Right. This hasn't happened yet. I'm just
Okay,
telling you. Clancy theorizes that the bishops can use it on living beings as well, to possess, and that it has been used on him too. We'll
so
get
would
back
that
there.
be the hands on the neck thing or no?
Sort of.
Okay,
Yes. Yes. In for the bishops, I believe it's hands on the neck, but it's also brain. It's like telekinesis kind of.
yeah, okay,
We'll get into it, but also keep in mind, so when they say Clancy uses Ned's antlers to do it, Ned stands for neural expansion device. Neuro like brain,
yeah,
and he holds them over his head, and we'll see an image in a bit. But that's what allows him to achieve psychokinesis.
okay,
Um, and I think that's really cool. That neural expansion, like he's literally expanding his brain to achieve this. That's
yeah,
really
it's
cool.
funny.
Okay, smearing is what happens when an individual is captured by a bishop. It causes black marks on the person's neck and
Gotcha.
hands.
So that's smearing.
Could be a form of psychokinesis.
Okay, 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 okay. Gotcha.
And remember, like, most of this has been proven. A lot of it, like, is theorized, fan theories. But
This is literally Five Nights at Freddy's. Like,
no, it's crazy. So then we have the annual Assembly of the Glorified. This is for the VIPs of Demo. Once a year, they hold it on a submarine outside of the city, and then
okay,
comes back later. East is up, the code phrase used amongst banditos. This is in the song Nico and the Niners. East is up is in there all the time.
okay,
It's used for the way out of Dima. It's the east side of the wall. There is a pitchfork symbol. Remember the compass at the very beginning? There was an E with a line through it.
yeah,
If you take that and turn it, it gives you um like a pitchfork symbol.
okay,
That symbol is also on the Trench album cover. It's very small, but it was those symbols underneath it.
hmm
And it comes back again. I'll get there.
okay,
Just remember that. Salu Felina, I mentioned, it's what the banditos cry out when they're in need of help. Vultures, there's a large population for the banditos. They're a symbol of their commitment to turn death into life and to continue living. Fun fact, the vulture on the trench cover is named Clifford.
oh, like the big red dog.
Very cute. And then we have the symbol with the lines. That's a symbol of the banditos, rebellious. Um, it's an upside down neon gravestone symbol. So that,
Oh,
yeah. Um, so the gravestones represent the slant, the dash, and the straight line. They think the extra people, this is theorized, the extra lines around the symbol are potentially symbolic for a jumpsuit or something covering and giving support. Because the whole
okay,
idea of jumpsuits, like jumpsuit, jumpsuit, cover me. And it's basically protection of some sort. So we don't know if this is literally like the jackets with the tape that the bishops can't see, but the
hmm
banditos can. Like we don't really know, but it's representative of something covering and giving support. So now we get FPE, and I could have mentioned this at the beginning because this is not like a secret. This stands for the few, the proud, and the emotional. And outside of lore, this is how Tyler refers to the fans or the clique. They call themselves the clickies. That's like
okay,
the name for the fan base.
okay,
Um, it stands for the few, the proud, and the emotional. But they have started to use it in other places.
okay.
So remember failed perimeter escape?
Yes.
That was one. That was the most notable one.
Oh,
Um, fine pool equipment can be seen in the chlorine video, and that's how they
okay.
refer to Ned sometimes. Feature performance event, we'll see that later. And even like in live streams and things, they sneak it in. There's one that says like food, petrol, etc.
hmm
FP just pops up a
Ah,
lot, which is pretty cool.
nice. That is cool.
Okay, this is a photo of the Bourbaki group. It was a secret society of French mathematicians in the 1930s. The actual name of the group is Nicolas Bourbaki. There's no member of the group. That's just what they named it.
Okay.
Connections to the group can be made all the way back in 2015 when they started slashing O's in their logo. The Bourbaki group invented something called empty set, which is written as O with the slash in between it. But I believe it
Oh,
also has something to do with religion as well.
okay.
No one really knows why they're a part of all this lore. I think Tyler found it interesting and knew a lot
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
Um, no one's quite sure. There was an interview where I think people tried to someone tried to get him to explain it and he didn't like really. Um, so that's just kind of cool.
That is cool.
Any questions?
I don't think so. I was curious about the O slash thing. So
Yes, so that explains that. And again, that's not totally confirmed if that's like where it came from or why they started doing it, but people made the connections.
but also like
Okay,
the fact that Nico's full name.
is Nicholas Barbaki. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, how are you feeling? Are there any holes that you want to ask about? And I will tell you whether or not I can fill them.
I don't think so. Like
Okay.
I'm
That's
following
a pretty
pretty
good
well.
recap, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, cool.
And like as soon as they included Ned, I'm like all I can think about is Star Wars right now.
I know. But keep in mind too, like I'm not showing you absolutely everything that happened because obviously things were happening away from the screens. there were
Yeah.
they toured, they did a Bandito tour.
Okay.
Um, they were doing interviews. They released like there was like a virtual reality trench experience, which I did do on my phone, and it was really cool. Basically, you're just walking around in trench.
Oh,
Um,
wow. That
like
is
they were
cool.
doing things, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just showing you like the lore specific things. So they were active. Tyler and Josh are like when they're not being cryptic, they really interact with people.
Cool.
Okay, so we're flashing forward. Remember, nothing online wise, I mean, tour and shows and whatever were still happening. But after January of 2019, nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
Okay, flash forward to April of 2020.
Okay.
They randomly drop a new song. I mean, they tweet about it first. There's a lot of tweets and stuff I'm leaving out. Like, their
Yeah.
tweets led to this.
Naturally, naturally.
They drop a song called Level of Concern. On the outside, it's about quarantine, it's about COVID, it's about what we were all going through then. Um, that's what the song is about, but it didn't stop them from starting the lore back up.
Okay.
So,
They said let's take this opportunity.
yes. So on the left, these images you're looking at, there's a flash drive that says level of concern and has yellow tape around it.
Mhm.
Keep in mind below that we have the same trench logo, but it's in red now. And okay, so that single was dropped April 10th, 2020. On June 10th, 2020, so 2 months later, the band account posted a video on Twitter with a code, which is what you're seeing on the right.
Yeah.
So it says LOC 061 220 2012P. When you figure that out, it becomes level of concern June 12th, 2020.
Okay.
12P is 12 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So on that date, at that time, 21 Pilots went live on YouTube. But we didn't see Tyler and Josh. And I'm actually going to have to stop sharing and share a different screen because I couldn't get this video to upload to the PowerPoint for some
Okay.
reason. But the live stream started as a TV. Let's get us over there. And I am going to
Let's
play
let's
this.
get to a second location.
It's very small. Hold on, it's buffering. Okay, level of concern. Here, we're back. So this is how it started, and I'm gonna see if I can get this to where you will be able to see it. If you can't, I can just describe what's going on. There's not really much to see. It's more listening. Okay. So you see that little TV there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to hold this and let you hear it. Um, it's creepy as shit. Okay.
Okay.
Feeling tired? Need someone to talk to? 1877 LVLCNRN. We are here for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So that
So
was just like a
after
live
that
stream?
clip, yes, it was the first 16 seconds of this live stream that you figured out when it started and everything based on this code. The TV just showed people tossing and turning in bed, and then that number that they said popped up. Creepy, right? Also,
Yes.
the image of the live stream, it had that little box TV on the ground. There's a speaker,
Mhm.
and in the background, you can see the red light from a camera pointed at you. Creepy
Okay.
vibes.
Yes.
So, after that first 16 seconds, the rest of the live stream was the TV flashing images and noises for 24 hours straight. That was it.
Oh,
It was just
awesome.
really unnerving. No one really knew what was happening. It was weird. However, the live stream started a scavenger hunt that took everyone a very long time to finish. People worked on it forever. So they had to scour the internet looking for codes to input into the website found on the live stream's description. There were 20 codes in total, and each one unlocked a file containing cryptic images, old photos of Tyler and Josh, whatever. I'm so upset I wasn't really a fan at this point because this would have been
You
so
would have gone
fun.
crazy.
I did at some point know it was happening. I wasn't paying that close attention, right? There
Yeah.
were there were other things happening in the world. Um, okay. There's a recap video on the 21 Pilots YouTube, I believe. If you're interested in finding out how the codes were found and stuff, like you can find how this all happened. So I'm not going to
Okay.
explain a lot of that, but I will show you some examples. So on the left is the video I just showed you. That's what it looked
Okay.
like. On the right is an example of these codes. So there are little symbols. You have to enter a code and it unlocks new things. Okay. Once the 20th code was found, the first few people to input it were put in a list to receive a gift and a link to a new website that was unlocked. So this is getting like exclusive.
Yeah.
On the site, fans could upload their own footage and be a part of the Level of Concern Never Ending music video, which is a live stream that went on for 178 days with Level of Concern playing on a loop and fans' footage playing over it. So basically, you give fans an opportunity to be like in a music video, kind of.
Okay.
Little do we know that in the lore, uploading footage to the Never Ending music video was actually indoctrinating yourself into Dima. It
Whoa.
was us offering ourselves up to Dima, and unbeknownst to us, Tyler and possibly Josh were already captured and under the control of Dima.
OMG.
So some time passed, and the selected people finally received their gifts. It's a Level of Concern USB drive containing old demo tracks and 2 videos. The first video is a video of Josh congratulating you for completing the game. He seems to be self deprecating. He talks about how you probably clicked on Tyler's video first because he's probably more important as he's the lead singer. And looking back, we're assuming this is probably just Josh's blurry face talking
Okay.
and his insecurity as they're being controlled by Dima and they're representative of the insecurity and things like that.
Gotcha.
So top image here is just from the video of Josh. Very COVID era looking videos, right?
Yes.
um So the top one, it's just Josh talking. The second video was of Tyler, also thanking you for participating. He's in an empty basement. It's a weird area, and he's acting very robotic. I do remember seeing these, and I still don't know how I didn't get sucked into the puzzles at this point.
Yeah.
He also states that Josh's video is probably cooler than his, so blurry face again. There's a TV in the background of his video, and it flashes characters on the screen throughout the video, which later deciphered to say Clancy is dead.
Whoa.
So at this
Clancy?
point in the lore, we do not know if Clancy is alive or dead. We have to assume he's dead at this point. We don't know if phylism happened. We don't know if the bishops found DMA org and killed him. We don't know what's happening. Okay. This is not on the PowerPoint. It's off the record a little bit. I didn't add it because this is fan theory. On April 3rd, 2021, so a whole year, He broke his 4-year blurry face broke his 4-year Twitter hiatus to like a tweet that said flash drive. It was the announcement, a warning, if you will. Now the termination of the website. This comes later. The only answer is that the bishops found out, tried to smear him, and force him into dogmatic beliefs. And when he protested, vialism took place. So blurry face account comes back on and likes that fan tweet. So everyone's like, okay, blurry face himself just confirmed that Clancy died to vialism. Well, why should
Mhm.
we trust him? So no one's really sure. Okay, that happened like a year after where we are right now.
Okay.
So we're in 2020 again, still. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. On December 8th of 2020, the band's Twitter posted a video in which Josh accidentally pulled Never Ending video plug to plug in his Christmas tree. And this ended the Never Ending music video live stream.
Okay.
So there's some theories here that they don't know if Josh meant to shut off the live stream or if he purposefully did it because Dima has been watching us and them the entire time. And this had been hinted to throughout the live stream and the idea of indoctrination, the videos of Tyler and Josh, the first live stream where the camera is pointed at us, and the game also showed a lot of different images that just kind of alluded to watching. So I'm going to show you some images on the next screen. If you're not watching, that's not important. So these were mostly from the game. You can see
Okay.
there's like hidden symbols in some
Yeah.
places. But everything kind of has a theme of being watched. There's a camera pointing at Tyler. There's a camera in the background. You literally see a creepy bishop watching us.
Mhm.
There's an outdoor security camera. And on the right, this was for the people who, I believe it was just the email about uh, level of concern. There's a camera pointing at us.
Okay.
So people are watching us. Okay,
Ooh.
now we are shifting gears a little bit. In December of 2020, Tyler and Josh hosted a Christmas live stream. They hung out, they ate snacks, they played Fortnite, and then they dropped a Christmas song called Christmas Saves the Year.
Okay.
So,
I see
yeah,
that,
there's also a
Clancy.
music video, and there's potential lore in the music video too, and symbolism and stuff. I'm not talking about that. You can go find this elsewhere.
Okay.
But this is the cover. You will notice, as you already pointed out, Clancy at the top on
Mhm.
the present. In that little square in between, do you see how there's like light pink? It's very, very hard
Yeah.
to see, but
Yes.
this
Yes. Yeah.
was,
On the wrapping paper.
yes, this was later
Yes.
confirmed. It says Sai, SAI, is propaganda. At this point, absolutely no one knows what's happening.
Okay.
No one knows what's going on. This is in December. They're saying this present is from Clancy, and he's telling us that Sai is propaganda, but is Clancy alive? Is this a trick? What's happening? No one knows.
Yeah.
As you can tell, the person who wrote the document I'm now reading off of was like really good at storytelling. The dramatic effect is amazing. Okay. A few months later, in April, on April 2nd of 2021, the DMA org website returns, but there is a termination bar at the top of the page.
Oh.
So the images I'm showing you here are things we have already seen. Everything just got inverted. So you know how everything was black background?
Yeah.
Every image got inverted and this terminating files popped up. And
Gotcha.
it's loading and it loads for the course of 4 days. Everyone waited as the progress bar kept going up and it finally hit 100% and the account was terminated. Okay. Pause for 2 seconds because I gotta go to another document. Actually, no, I don't. I don't know if this is significant, but I thought I would add it. So nothing changed except for the inversion.
Okay.
When it was inverted, okay, because remember that image was yellow with a white background. So when it was inverted, it's now a paler blue tape with a black background. But when
Mhm.
you invert that one to supposedly make it the normal yellow, it's like a light red pinky color.
Okay.
Very
For
similar to the
for
shades
those
you.
for those listening, it's essentially the pieces of yellow tape that we saw that kind of led to like a different message. When it's inverted, it looks blue and black, but then someone took that inverted image and tried to invert it back, but the tape's no longer yellow.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's this red and blue color that's very similar to Vessel and Regional Best.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Moving on. Over 4 days, the progress bar is loading, but it says account terminating. This is really important. So it says the page you are looking for has been removed from our servers. The account was in violation of terms established by the sacred municipality of Dima and deemed contraband material. Disciplinary action has been taken, and the offender no longer has access to this account. Um, Further actions have been taken to ensure these violations will not occur again. Anyone attempting to access or share any contraband material will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the laws set forth by DMA.org and the Sacred Municipality of Dima, United Violus. And then there's an infraction number. When you do the letter alphabet number spelling out thing, this infraction number spells out Clancy is dead.
Okay.
So this is Dima talking to us. They found the website, they took it down, and they're
Gotcha.
trying to tell us Clancy is dead.
So Dima and Blurryface have told us that Clancy's dead, but then
We're not sure though.
that picture suggests that maybe he isn't.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, in the error message, the O in offender, if you hover over it, it turns into an O with a slash in it. And when you click on it, it leads you to 3 posters advertising that
Oh.
on May 21st, 2021, there will be a 21 Pilots live stream experience and new album titled Scaled. Actually, we don't know what it. Oh, yeah, it says it on there. Scaled and Icy.
Okay.
Anything you notice about that title? If you don't, it's okay.
Well, I will say, first of all, May 21st is Elsie's birthday, so shout out.
Happy birthday, Elsie!
Um, major shift in color.
Yes.
Uh,
And this is very purposeful.
Scaled and icy. I don't know. We were talking about Iceland earlier, but
Remember how Clancy's president told us that SAI was propaganda?
oh, SAI is propaganda. Oh my god!
So this is spoiling a little bit.
That's okay.
Scaled and Icy is essentially Dema propaganda. It is the bishops shoving this music in our face and just trying to control Dema and make the citizens happy again and let them forget about
So
the banditos and everything that happened.
when you said earlier that what's his name, Tyler,
Mm-hmm.
when he was making propaganda for Dima, did he make this?
Yes, Tyler and Clancy
Gotcha.
propaganda. This is them
Gotcha.
forcing him to make propaganda, and it's um they think the theory is that they use psychokinesis to make Tyler and Josh make this music.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
And it's very
I
like
don't
bright.
It's very bright. The music itself is very happy. I remember this album came out and I was like, I do not like this. Why does it sound so happy? That doesn't feel like them at all. Like I
I
was
feel like
not a
I remember
fan.
you telling me that.
It's still not my favorite album.
Because
Again,
it's propaganda.
literally, exactly. Exactly. It's literally propaganda. Okay. Really cool and crazy, right?
Yeah.
It goes even deeper than this, though. So these posters come out announcing a new album on May 21st and also a live stream experience. Also, I'll get into this later. I did see the live stream experience that summer. Jenna invited me over to watch it.
Aww.
And I went over and watched it with Jenna. And I remember there were parts of the live stream I was like, this is really weird. What's going on? As I'll show you later. I don't know why I never looked into it. Because it was just, it was part of the lore. It was like the music videos, they were literally showing us the storyline. And I was just
That's
like, oh, they're just playing their music and being weird. I don't know.
that is
Okay,
so
so
crazy.
it says on all the posters, Scaled and Icy and 21 Pilots live stream experience is presented in association with DMA.org and Good Day Dima. This is important.
Mm-hmm.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the Sacred Municipality of Dima and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the artist. That's another hint to like we're brainwashing them. Any content provided during this film performance event is property of DMA.org, and then there's a number. I forget what that means. It's not significant.
Okay.
remember how I mentioned that in April 2021, which is where we are right now, Blurryface became active again
Yeah.
after not being for a really long time.
Yes.
This got tweeted.
Whoa. The name of
So
the
there
new record is Scaled and Icy, is what it says for those
so
listening.
there are some spaces missing in between name of and new record. I
True.
didn't really find much on that. Also, the profile picture is just a black image.
Because it used to be
So
that
that is
blurry
interesting.
face thing, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Where am I going? Sorry. I have like three main sources. I'm trying to think of which one I need to be looking at. I think I could just go off my PowerPoint for right now. Okay. So we get Scaled and Icy.
I like this cover a lot.
Okay. So a lot of people are saying that this is essentially the trench cover just flipped. So it's representative of Dima putting their own,
Oh.
right, like
Yeah, I see that.
putting their own propaganda music out. This is a completely new logo. It has always been the lines, and we have
Yeah.
something completely new.
The
Do
trident, the
you?
E trident.
Yes. It's East Up.
It's east
Um,
up. Whoa, they were
yes.
planning that for so long.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Um, so yes, it's like a little trident-y looking thing with a circle around it for those
Yeah.
who don't know. Also, there is a
It low-key
sword.
looks like my tattoo.
It
Okay, maybe not
does.
that much, but
We could get that. Okay, no, we're not going
oh
there.
my god.
We should get a tattoo that's representative of every single Babel episode.
That would be
Um,
so funny.
that would be really funny. We should get Babel tattoos. Okay, moving on. So East is up.
This is
This
my
little
favorite
trident logo.
cover and font, I'll be
Yes.
honest.
And also, so this logo was seen on the Trench album. There was a little list of symbols underneath. I didn't talk about it just because it's a small little detail. Go look it up. But it
Yeah.
was there and it was in yellow. So we're thinking Dima's taking the symbol and
Gotcha.
using it against them.
Okay.
Also, no one knows if this is purposeful, but there is a sword called a Sai, S-A-I, and it looks just like that. It's a real thing.
Oh,
No one
that's
knows if
gotta
they
be
meant to do that.
that's got to be
It
uh
has to be. It has to be.
purposeful.
Also, we have a dragon on the front cover.
Mhm.
Keep in mind the color of his eyes and the color of the flames coming out of his nose.
True. It for those listening, it's the yellow that um
Yes.
the bishops cannot see.
Yes. So we're thinking this dragon may be like a double crossy type thing. Like Dima's using it as a
Yeah.
symbol, but really inside, like he is allied with the banditos.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have the track list. I'm just going to read it down. Good Day, Choker, Shy Away, The Outside, Saturday, Never Take It, Mulberry Street, Formidable, Bounce Man, No Chances, and Redecorate. Again, I don't know much about the content of the music in this album. It has some bops. I get still not my favorite, but it's
Mhm.
propaganda music, so I'm blaming it on that.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to see something so crazy?
Yes.
No one really knows why it's called Scaled and Icy. Do you have any theories?
Literally none. I mean, no.
I'm about to blow your mind with the click of a button.
Wait. Is it something that I could guess or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, go ahead.
Scaled and
Oh.
Icy. Yeah,
So how did nobody get that? I mean, obviously some
I
people
think people did. Scaled and Icy reordered literally spells out Clancy is dead. So this is again Dima propaganda trying to tell us that Clancy is dead. Do you see how this lore it gets you so sucked in that
it
you
really
forget
does.
from the
I'm like,
outside people are like, "Oh yeah, Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn, the band 21 Pilots are just releasing an album called Scaled and Icy." And we're like in a whole different world right now.
no, I'm like in my room, like, oh god, I'm a little scared.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So people
insane.
realize that.
Gotcha. Scaled and
Then
I see Clancy's dead.
okay. So then so then people can go to a website to buy tickets for the live stream experience, and it looks like this. Very propaganda heavy.
Very Five Nights at Freddy's. OMG.
Very. So
It's
if
like
you're just listening,
You want me to
I
say
was
it? Or you can.
uh I'm good either way. I was just gonna say, if you're listening, also I'm gonna see, I don't know what that says. Okay. It says welcome to dma.org, but it's a bunch of computer screens and monitors. Uh there's
It
buttons
looks
on the
like
control pad.
a very like if the animation in Five Nights at Freddy's was like
Yeah.
elevated and more colorful, it's like a
Ex-
security desk.
Extremely bright, extremely colorful. So DMA has taken back DMA.org and they're using it for themselves. They terminated all of Clancy's stuff.
Hmm.
But on each of these individual screens, there's like coming this Friday, buy the tickets. You can see the little dials on the left, like YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify. There's click to watch full video. And then on the right, there's merch. There's vinyl, there's cassette tapes. Like there's just so much being advertised here. It is
Yeah.
very in your face. Um, so yeah, Dima propaganda. Okay, I want to shift really quickly and just talk about this dragon. The dragon's
Hmm.
name is Trash.
Okay.
Trash the dragon. He's a sea dragon that is speculated to have been long dead. His body was temporarily possessed via psychokinesis by Keons to attack the submarine carrying Clancy. He represents creativity. So Trash is representative of Tyler's creativity, or yes, Tyler's creativity.
Okay.
Um, Keep in mind all the end stuff comes later. We'll find out. Okay, now we're going to talk about the live stream, which again, I did watch, so I remembered some of it, but then I watched it last night too. So you cannot find it anymore legally,
Oh, you did send me a picture of you watching that.
but Reddit helped me, so it's
Reddit,
okay. I have a
Reddit,
link.
Reddit's there for you
If you guys
sometimes.
illegally would like to watch this, it's only an hour long. It's a lot of it is concert, but there is a lot of like hidden lore things in it.
Hmm.
You can go see that. Okay, so the show begins with Tyler starring on a talk show called Good Day Dima, hosted by a man and a lady who we later discover are the bishops, Sakarver and Lisden.
Whoa.
Their names are Sally and Dan. Their full names Sally Sakarver and Dan Lisden. So these are
Okay.
bishops in disguise as people.
Gotcha.
They ask Tyler so many questions. He doesn't reply to any of them. He seems very out of it. He sits there, he's looking scared, he's hesitant to say anything. They jokingly, the bishops are asking, they're talking as if this is like outside world stuff, like the 21 Pilots, my favorite band, new music, so excited, this music saved my life, whatever, whatever. And the lady, Sally, is jokingly like, Josh, are you hiding? Come here, you little moron. And Tyler's face drops, so we don't know what's happening with
Hmm.
that. But like, there's like weird things happening. Sally also requests that Tyler and Josh play Stressed Out because it's her favorite, but it's likely because the song is literally about Blurry Face
Gotcha.
and one of their biggest hits.
Yeah.
So this is an example of their creativity kind of being stifled and them being forced to do certain things. So in the live stream, they keep talking. It kind of like zooms in on or Tyler a little bit, like he's spaced out. And then he starts singing Choker, which is one of their songs. And it turns into like music video stuff. I didn't put too many images of the live stream. I'm now kind of wishing I did. Um yeah, I'm really now wishing I did, but that's okay. Um After playing Choker, they move on and they play older songs such as Migraine, Morph, Holding On to You. I think Stressed Out is in there somewhere, and in Stressed Out, there's literally like the nine bishops in red cloaks dancing and stuff. There's also the image
Whoa.
of the vials and a lot of neon lights and things happening.
Yeah.
So the lore is just very embedded in this live stream. But then they play Holding On to You, and the bishops cut it off. It like statics out and goes back to Good Day Dima.
Hmm.
This is believed to be because Tyler and Josh weren't meant to play these older songs about hope. They're playing these songs as a form of rebellion to give their viewers a sense of hope, and the bishops don't want that. So the theory is that the bishops are using psychokinesis on Tyler and Josh for this whole live stream because the music is propaganda and they're forcing them to make it. They think they're also forcing them to perform all these things. And throughout, Tyler and Josh are like breaking out at moments and like trying to send signals and things like that.
Okay.
Okay. These images are going to be really interesting and again a little creepy. In between songs and things like this, we keep cutting back to Sally and Dan. There is one spot, I forget which song they're performing, but you see Sally and Dan. It's a dark room. There's like stuff flashing on their faces. They're wearing masks that say why. They're like, it looks like they're being brainwashed.
Okay.
It's very strange. But then after certain songs, it keeps cutting back to them. And every time they are more and more battered and bruised.
Huh.
So no one's really sure what's happening here.
Okay.
But Lucy, what are you seeing?
I see these two people. You said Dan and Sally.
Hmm.
Um,
Which are later found out to be bishops. We don't know that at this
yeah.
point.
The background is very scaled and icy. It's pink, yellow, and blue. They've got clothes on, but there's some blood on their clothes. There are bruises on their faces. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't look
So,
like they're in pain, but they look more beat up.
right. And you can tell they're acting very like too happy, like they're being forward. Like you don't really know what's going
Yeah.
on. So they talk about how perfect the album is. They're stressing about the collection. If we'll all feel trapped if we don't get our hands on it. At one point, Dan starts like malfunctioning, like he's robotic. He seems delirious.
Mm,
Um, they believe this is because Tyler and Josh are rebelling and playing their old songs, and it's slowly like destroying their fake appearance,
okay.
and their true form is being revealed. They keep trying to continue like nothing has happened, trying to sell their propaganda, and they are pushing this. They're like, "Bye, Skeleton, I see, whatever." But it's very obvious that something's going on with them.
Okay.
So by the end of the live stream, you'll see some images in a second. Tyler and Josh play Trees. They do a mashup of Heathens and Trees, which are two of their earlier songs about. Trees is about hope. Heathens is just a popular song, and I think for real world stuff, they had to put that in there to get people to watch. Whatever. But they're dressed in yellow and they're outside. Suppose I mean, you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
show that they're outside and there are stars, and it's just like a completely different, like freer image.
Yeah.
And once they do that, Dan and Sally are done for.
OMG.
Yeah, so they look terrifying. Their eyes are red, like the bishops are kind of being revealed here.
Yeah, they're like messed up. Eyes are red, creepy.
Yeah. So, and again, I remember watching this on the live stream with Jenna, who hadn't seen it. And I was like, oh, this is so weird. What's going on?
Did she know?
No, neither of us questioned it.
You didn't
And
question when you
I,
saw
like,
this?
no. And, like, I had an idea. I really like Trench. Keep in mind, though, I was so far removed from the band and the music. I hadn't listened in years. Like,
Yeah,
I
but I
wasn't
also
totally
bet
paying
just like
attention.
their whole thing, their whole image, their whole like what they write about, this doesn't seem unusual to happen at a concert. Like
Right.
it
It's
seems like
just,
a
like, weird.
performance.
Right. So, yeah. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I just wasn't really questioning. I was like, okay, whatever. This is weird, but we're going with it. Which I don't know, whatever. Anyway, the live stream is really good. I watched it last night. I'm not gonna lie, like the reason I went through that stretch of being so far removed is because I was very embarrassed that I was ever a fan.
Mhm.
Also, going through a friend breakup that really involves 21 Pilots,
Yeah.
like, sucks. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to listen to them. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, lately I've been listening and I've just been, like, reliving some of the songs that, meant a lot to me when I was a very mentally ill teenager, and I don't know, it's just it's one of those nostalgia factor things. So, I'm back in it. I won't lie. I'm having a little moment. I'm not, like, obsessed, but I did make an 82 slide PowerPoint. Anyway, I will say watching the live stream was very fun. I got to see them perform some of their songs. I got to pick up on Easter eggs and the lore at the very end of the video. And again, I like made this PowerPoint and then watched the live stream and then like went to bed. So I didn't put any more images in from the live stream, and I think I should have, but they play their very last song, which is No Chances. And Dan and Sally even say like, you can't get away, no chances. At the very end, Tyler puts his guitar down, sets down a figurine of Trash the Dragon next to the guitar, and then walks back onto stage, sitting in between Dan and Sally where he began in the beginning.
Okay.
So it's symbolic of his creativity being lost again and him being pulled back into Dima again, even after all that rebellion.
Gotcha.
Okay, now we're going into the real world. These are some images from the Skeld and Icy era of
Mm-hmm.
Tyler and Josh. Left image, yes, this is from Skeld and Icy, not Blurry Face, but you wouldn't know that, right? Like they got the
Yeah, no,
same
no, no.
look,
I would not be able to tell.
right? And then on the right, sorry, they did these magazine covers. They have their normal tape on them, but notice how it's pale.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking this is because we're seeing them through the eyes of the bishops who can't see the yellow tape. So
Whoa.
it's like bleached out. Um, Another thing I didn't put in here, I just didn't think it was super relevant, but cool. There was one photo shoot they did where everyone noticed that Tyler and Josh were on different sides. So they're almost always shown with Josh being on the left and Tyler on the right. Even
Mm-hmm.
on Vessel, like Josh's grandfather was on the left,
Yeah.
Tyler's on the right. This photo shoot, they were opposite.
Okay.
It was just weird vibes, right?
Yeah.
Lots of colors, lots of
Just
weird
things.
things
Just
happening.
things are clearly off.
Right. I already talked about the logo, but here are the logos.
Yeah.
On the left is kind of the Bandito one, and the right is the other one. I thought the same thing with the sword was really cool
Yeah.
too. Again, we don't know if that was personal or purposeful. Okay, we got the terminating files. Okay, okay, we got the account terminated. We got the posters. Oh, oh my God, wait. Okay, I'm gonna go back like a bunch of slides because I want to look at something. So, I don't know how I missed this. Okay. So, some of the scales on Trash the Dragon here, people noticed that in spots they were maps of aerial views of Clancy Way, which I mentioned in Ohio, which was pretty cool. Again,
Oh.
don't know how people found that. Um, FP comes back for a feature performance event. But also, I don't know if you could see. If you look all the way to the left, look at all the way to the left side of the album cover. If you like flip your head, you can see destroy is spelled out in Trash's scales. Can you see that?
You say go all the way to the left.
Yes. It's top half.
Oh, I see. I see. I see.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool.
I just read that on one of the documents.
Destroy.
I don't know how I
I've
missed
got
that.
it.
Okay. So, all right. So that happens. All that happens. Skilled and Icy is happening. They tour, real world stuff is happening. They're doing their thing. This was in 2021, summer 2021. We all
Okay.
know Amelia and Lucy had a lot going on summer 2021. Whatever, it's
True.
fine. Um, March 16th, 2022.
Okay.
The DMA website is reverted back to its original format, so the account terminated is gone, and every one of Clancy's things is back. Oh, I forgot. I went back. Okay. We get this map of Trench. So it shows us the continent of Trench, Volsoy, Port Vile. So all the things I told you about earlier, here they are, like kind of
Okay.
showed out.
Gotcha.
Also, the compass at the bottom, east is up.
Yes.
So they flipped it, and east is up, and it's a little trident logo. But it
Gotcha.
still says Dima, Sacred Municipality of Dima, United Vilist. Okay. Um, okay. Also, I believe everything was still inverted from the black background, but then this got uploaded with the black background.
Okay. So
So
everything else
it
is
was new.
okay.
Yeah, so people knew it was new. Um, the file name was Voldsoy, which, as we know, is the little island where the Neds live.
Mhm.
This comes in a lot of music videos, and again, we're almost near the end. Um, the Scaled and Icy music videos show a lot of the submarine, so we think Clancy's alive. They show him being carried during the meetings that happen in the submarine or whatever. Um, Lots of boats, lots of symbolism with like being tied up in nets, the island, like things like that. You can go watch if you want. One thing I did notice in one of them, someone pointed out, I should have put this in there. Again, I'm not as brushed up on Scaled and Icy.
That's okay.
Um, there's one video, you see Tyler and Josh in the video, they're like swimming in the ocean
Mhm.
and like people escape from the submarine or something happened, there are other people in there. You can literally see clone versions of themselves in the water, and people think that
Whoa.
this is maybe the live stream versions of them escaping. Kind of cool.
Whoa.
So, Voltsoy is Norwegian for Island of Violence, which is a lyric in Migraine, which goes all the way back to Vessels. So, again,
Wow.
how are they connecting this? The map has the Dimes seal, implying it was approved by the bishops, but the compass shows east is up, as I mentioned. Okay. That was in March 16th. The next day, March 17th, as that would be what comes next, we get a new handwritten note added, and which is telling us essentially Clancy is alive, as
Ooh,
far as we know.
y'all, Clancy is
Um,
not dead.
this note is extensive, so I did not put a picture, but a new note is added. I'll talk about it a little bit. I'll skim through it. I'll just read through it a little bit. Hold on. Okay, new note. It's added the day before the announced release of the Outside music video. Perfectly describes the events of Scaled and Icy livestream experience, as well as the Saturday music video. You can go watch those if you want from Clancy's perspective. Notably, Clancy's perspective is the same exact perspective of what we believe to be Tyler's in both of those events. So it implies that in some ways, Clancy and Tyler are very similar in vision and visage.
Mhm.
So, again, God, Christianity, that
Yeah.
stuff. You know more about that than I do. Um, but also, it's important to point out that Clancy was watching Tyler being smeared at one point, so they are not completely the same.
They're not completely one of the same. Gotcha.
Um, Clancy also mentions a character, a torchbearer, which we believe is Josh.
Okay.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Also, Tyler posted a photo on Instagram the day before this letter, which shows Josh. It's them like on a shoreline. Josh is holding a torch and walking ahead of Tyler, and Tyler is behind him, covering his eyes and following him. So
Okay.
this is symbolic of, Josh being the leader of the Banditos and kind of leading Tyler slash Clancy slash whoever out of everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've been doing this for like 3 hours.
I know, guys. We've been recording one episode for 3 hours.
I'm so locked in right now. It's
I know.
ridiculous.
We're like,
Okay. Oh, okay. So he talks about how he hasn't had the ability to write for a long time. It felt like a deprivation. Um, they didn't give him a lot of food. There's a big change of scenery. They basically had him captured. Um, Obedience, Blue Door. He found himself in a gray Dema room. 4 of them were waiting for him for the bishops. 3 of them were unknown, but one was clearly Keon's. They proposed an idea, a television show, or whatever it was. I had no idea that I was known outside of my cell, but they informed me that I had garnered notoriety for my schemes and outbursts. They wanted to use my face for the benefit of the city. They handed me a pen, a familiar instrument, yet they must be present when I use it. They wanted to manage my imagination and vision, although shackled, at least I could create again. So it's an idea of creating, but being held back by insecurity, mental health, whatever.
yeah.
They had writing sessions. Clancy was essentially writing the whole live stream experience. So all the Easter eggs and things that Tyler and Josh are doing to kind of rebel, like Clancy oversaw. Um, Yeah, Clancy was there on show day. Whatever. They requested more of his creativity, but they controlled it. They wanted him to entertain at the annual assemblage of the glorified, which is the submarine meeting.
Yeah.
So that's where some of the music videos take place. I knew those weren't the real bishops on that ship. No one really knows what that means. Again, psychokinesis, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting. We're wrapping up, I promise. They were attacked by something in the water. It was trash, I believe, because he's a sea dragon. Anyway, so we hear from Clancy. That's so great. Okay. On the 18th, which is the next day, two files were uploaded to the site prior to the release of the outside music video, and one was around 3 hours prior, and one was right before. Okay. So the file name is weapon with the little dash through the O. The file seems to be inverted in color, so what's shown on the screen right now is the same file, but with a inversion.
Okay.
Um, the letters on one of the files can be reorganized to spell out C's Keons. There's also some information here from the writing. C's available vessel at Voldsoy Easton Cove. Intercept Bishops. Glory is gone equals available vessel. So essentially, Clancy is starting to figure out what is going on.
Okay.
He knows what the Glory is gone means. He knows about psychokinesis. He somehow knows that he can use psychokinesis. And I believe so. The images you're being shown at the top are him taking the antlers and raising them
Yeah.
above his head to achieve psychokinesis. Keep in mind the statue that we saw in some of the music videos looks just like that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Again, I barely went over that, so it's okay if you don't remember.
I remember.
I think the vessel he intercepts is Trash the Dragon. I could be completely wrong.
Okay.
Could also be a Ned. I'm not sure. If anyone has more information on that. That is kind of what I got for right now on Skilled and Icy.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what happened after. That's like most of the important lore that comes from that, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna breathe for 2 seconds.
That's cray cray.
That was posted on March 22nd or March 18th, 2022.
Okay.
Um, we got another letter that day too that just kind of talks about this. I'm not gonna read it. Okay. After the release of the music video, the significance of this, the image with the antlers, becomes clear because, again, we start using Clancy slash Tyler in descriptions because no one's sure if they're one and the same or what's happening. He does this motion with the antlers. It starts a dance that ends up letting them take control of Keon's dead body. Okay, that's the vessel. Keon is
Okay.
dead. And now they're taking control of his body and destroying one of the towers in Dima.
Gotcha.
This is significant lore that I just have brushed past. Anyway, there you go. You guys know now. Okay. This is where the website, or yeah, DMA.org, there was nothing else added after that. So normal stuff is happening, normal life stuff. This was March 18th, 2022. On February 9th, 2024, so a little over a month ago. Oh, wait, no, okay. First, in the fall, people noticed on Spotify and Apple Music, and they're still there. Red tape has been added to every single album cover.
Okay.
Are you noticing
Weird.
anything about that?
They're covering up all the eyes.
Also, on the blurry face one, it's covering up Keon's circle because he's dead.
Gotcha.
Pretty cool, right? I actually just put that together in my brain right now. Actually, maybe that's whatever. No, that might be Andre. Whatever, it's covering one of them. That's got to be significant. We don't know why. Keep in mind, we're in real
True.
time now. So I don't know what's going on. And then in February, We got new letters.
Whoa!
They are
Guys, we're
typed.
living real time. We're gonna have to do updates every time we get uh
I know.
update in the
So they
world.
are typed and they look completely different from the handwritten ones, the typed ones, whatever,
Yeah.
right? But we're hearing from Clancy. So we're assuming that he's alive. So in February, he said, I'm not as scared as I used to be. Their mystery begins to fade as a method to defeat them becomes more clear. I no longer feel powerless. I can outsmart them. This this new power of psychokinesis worked, and I believe it can work again. I stand here looking down at the line where the water meets the sand, a starting line, all the while knowing there's a finish line. Across the strait, their compass lies, but mine remains true. East is up. I've left embers of inspiration. I only hope whatever spark was left has grown to a torch, car torch of death, torch prayer, and together we create an inferno. Signed Clancy. The reason I kept pausing is because I'm noted. Do you see the overlap in the letters?
Yeah, it's on the second one too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go look at that later
I
because
think
no one.
I have seen that.
Okay,
I've seen this on TikTok or something. The like
okay,
there for people not looking at this, there are words, but then sometimes letters will it looks almost as if it's been printed twice on accident.
yeah,
I don't really know how else to explain it, but I'm sure it
yeah.
spells something out.
I'll go look at that later. I just started paying attention when they released the song, so anyway, so wow, I'm so worn out. Um
Rightfully so. You've been teaching for 3 hours.
there's so much I left out too. I'm like
Yeah.
there's so much more I want to talk about. Okay, so we get these letters. We're assuming Clancy is still alive. We don't necessarily know where he is. We're assuming maybe somewhere in Voldsoy in the street, somewhere in that area after the outside music video, but no one knows. The other one says these campfires feel like home as I stare deeply into them, finding more and more clarity. They tried to tell us we were different, but the flame that burns inside of me is the same fire I've found on the hilltops of Trench. The banditos have lived their rebellion, and a resistance is growing inside the concrete walls. One powerful enough to burn out all of the stale teachings, and usher in true hope, a path to actual life. We march in the morning. The revolution shall arrive with the sun. This one is not signed, but everyone is assuming it's still Clancy. Um, resistance is growing inside Dima, and they're hinting to the fact that maybe Clancy is going back into Dima.
Hmm.
So then we get this one. I found a way in, a way they'll never suspect, and a way they'll never understand. Everything about our cause is so hard for them to understand, but so close to the hearts of the growing resistance. I can reach them all. I can recruit everyone with eyes that are above or beyond the horizon. I can teach them. They can learn what I've learned and fly by all of their constructs that Dima has placed in front of them. We will take it back.
Okay.
This was February 28th. And then 21 Pilots released this video on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere.
Okay.
So essentially what this video is everything I just told you in 3 hours. they this is their first like appearance publicly putting the lore like word for word out there.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Tyler, like they're showing Clancy, they're showing the characters, they confirm that Clancy is alive. At the end, Tyler says, I am Clancy. They're going back into Dima. He's wearing red, so we think it's him trying to blend in, sneak back in with the bishops. I really want to play this whole video. I really don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah. I mean,
And I'm
maybe
worried that I
just
might.
everyone's homework. Go watch this video.
Go
I
watch it. It's like
encourage.
4 minutes. You can find it on Instagram. You don't even have to go to YouTube if you're embarrassed, don't want any of your history or whatever. But I will play just a little bit just to show you. So the whole thing is a narrative of Tyler slash Clancy talking. I'm trapped, stuck in a cycle I've never been able to break. Um, so we're seeing images. He's coming out of a cave towards the ocean. We're seeing the maps. He talks about being a citizen of Dima. So basically, like everything I just told you in like 3 hours. They
Wow.
confirm everything and they find a way to tell the lore in 4 minutes. So they talk about Dima, they talk about Trench, um, they talk about they're not allowed to go into Trench. They show some of the videos. They talk about Blurry Face. They confirm that. Leader of the 9 bishops who govern the city. Authority comes from Tooth. I'm just gonna let it play and kind of keep talking over it. Um, Hijacked religion. There's this cycle of vialism. He talks about that. Self destruction is the only way to paradise.
That's literally
Suicidal
Twin Flame.
ideation. Yeah, and
Twin
suicidal
Flame cult.
ideation. And they becomes vessel for bishops to use. Also, keep in mind their album Vessel. Again, where did they start with this? Like, I have no idea. They're showing some images from the live streams and the bishops. Psychokinesis. Talking about Clancy being able to do things. Okay, and then he talks about stuff that happened recently, so stuff we don't totally know. He tricked Nico into taking him outside of the walls of Dima,
Okay.
created a fiery diversion, the car. He escaped. That's the end of the Heavy Dirty Soul music video.
Wow.
Oh,
That
no,
was a
it's not.
long,
It was the Levitate.
still a while ago,
So
right?
this is Clancy. So we find out that Clancy and Tyler pretty much are one and the same in
Gotcha.
a way.
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking about the banditos. He gets taken back into the walls even after he tricked Nico into taking him out. He saw it and then he went back.
Okay.
The banditos needed him. They indoctrinated him as a bandito. Cycle was too strong. He was recaptured. Sorry for people watching if this is annoying because you can literally see it, but um he's basically just telling the story like start to finish. Talks about propaganda. He talks about having to perform for them. There's trash. I love Trash to the Dragon. Nico was betrayed. Keon's was dead. Isn't this crazy though? Like even just like it's like a movie.
Yeah, that is insane that they've created that whole thing.
Okay, so now I promise we won't stick around for too long. But they wash up on an island. They find the Neds. They help him and teach him how to use psychokinesis. Ned is so cute for no reason. So that's him learning how to use it. They possess Keon's body. Whatever. So now they're gonna go try to retake Dima, essentially.
Okay.
Um, I'm returning to Trench. I screamed when I watched this video. Um, he's covered. Yeah, you can go watch it. Go watch it, guys. He says I'm Clancy and the video ends. So Clancy's alive. Revolution is happening. Pretty cool,
Guys, this
right?
is
Like,
now.
this
This is
is really
now.
cool. Then they released Overcompensate, which is the first single.
Okay.
Bop. Bop. I have been obsessed with it. So good. Um, at the beginning, he says, "Welcome back to Trench." Everyone everywhere lost their minds. Everyone died, dead. Um, you can also hear Salo Folina in the background, which is really cool.
Whoa.
I feel like a really big nerd right now. Um, and he talks about in the song, he talks about being Clancy. He's on the run with Josh Dunn, wanted dead or alive. Go listen. It has a time breakdown that just like musically, it kills me. Okay. And then eventually we got the announcement. Nope. Of the album Clancy.
Whoa.
So our track list is Overcompensate, which is already out. Next Semester, which they've been teasing for a couple days now, so it's probably going to come
Okay.
soon. There is an Overcompensate music video. Backslide, Midwest Indigo, Routines in the Night, Vignette, The Craving, Jenna's version. Jenna is Tyler's wife. Not sure what's going on here. Is
Whoa.
she entering the world? You see her in the live stream for a minute. She features. Um,
Oh, maybe she is. She's deciding to dip her
yeah.
toes in.
She's very pregnant. Lavish, navigating, snapback, oldie station, at the risk of feeling dumb, and paladin straight, which is one of the places in Trench.
Gotcha.
So, any observations from this album cover?
So we've got the classic red background. We've got
Mhm.
that color yellow. Um, it looks like smoky, fiery, like they're setting things on fire again. Both Josh and Tyler are in black and white. Like we can't see color on them. Um, there's no like logo or anything. It's just the Clancy
Mhm.
sign.
I couldn't find like a track list for the back of the album. I don't know if we know what the back cover looks like.
Yeah,
So
there
that could
might
be
be
part of
one
it.
there.
Yeah. Okay. Here are some cool little things. You've already pointed out the fire. Notice how it's coming off of Josh.
Mm-hmm.
This adds to the theories of him being the torchbearer.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to click a button and I want you to tell me if you see anything at all.
Okay. I knew it was in the smoke. Is it in the smoke, right?
Yeah.
Um, it looks scaly.
On the right side, it's blurry face.
It's blurry face.
It's his face. You can see his eyes. It's hard, but you can see his eyes in the center of a couple of the scales. He's there. Isn't that crazy?
OMG. Wait, can you use your like mouse?
I don't know if it will let me. You can't see my mouse.
I can.
Oh, you can?
I
You've been
can
able to
see.
see it this whole time? Oh, it's
Well,
right
I can
here.
see it when you move it.
I,
Okay.
I.
I see
Yeah,
him.
pretty cool. Also, notice it kind of looks like the mask Tyler's wearing.
Yeah, it does.
So, not sure what that means. Could be foreshadowing. So, we've officially entered a new era. This picture cracks me the fuck up. I don't know why. This is a promo photo. They're in a lot of magazines and stuff right now. The black on the hands, the mask. There's like writing on this tape.
Wow.
Something's brewing.
Something is a stew.
This is where we are at in the real world right now.
Wow.
I did it.
Much,
Okay.
much, much to
We did
consider.
it, Joe. We did it. Okay. I'm going to go back and look through all of my documents and make sure I didn't leave anything out. Do you want to tell the people what your thoughts are at
My
this point?
experience.
Yes.
So
What
I'm
you think,
thinking
what you feel.
I will like I may end up finding some 21 Pilots songs that I enjoy. I'm wishing this was a band that I was like really, really into because I would go
No.
crazy for something like this. Um, this like is the type of I can hear myself in your
Oh, crap.
audio. Um,
Let me
this is
turn.
I can't hear
Is
you
that
now.
better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
I can I can empathize with the way these fans are feeling because I just remember the whole Aroda thing when Adore is spelled backwards, Aroda. That like sent me crazy, and this is that on the like 10,000th level. Very interesting, and I'm very curious to see like after this album, after going back into Trench, like I'm just like I wonder if they have their entire career mapped out.
I
Like
know. It like my biggest curiosity is like when did they think to start all of this?
yeah, and when and if they have an ending to it, like is that going to be the end of 21 Pilots?
Right.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. It's very interesting.
It is very
Um,
interesting and very very smart. I love
was
it.
this worth all of the time?
It was and it will be.
Also, do you agree with my earlier statement that like this is quite possibly the most any
It
band or
is
musician?
it is super super intricate. Like I
Yeah.
they're incredibly smart. Um I want to know if like anyone else has done this before. I mean like s- to this scale because
Yeah.
that's really
Well, I don't know even
interesting.
because like Scaled and Icy being a propaganda album, it's like okay, so like
I've never heard of that before.
are 21 Pilots was that like legitimate music for them? Like, was that a real like representative release, or was that literally them like releasing that to feed into their lore and the world? Like, I'm wondering
Yeah, it's very,
because it's kind of a bland album. I didn't like
yeah,
it very much, and I'm
much to
wondering if that
consider.
was, I don't know.
Much
Um,
to consider.
I did hit everything. I do have like a full timeline of Clancy's story in front of me that I'm just gonna go really quickly
Okay.
and show from everything we just saw in the 3 4 hours we've been doing this. This is, we're not sure like what year it starts. It could span whatever. Clancy spends 9 years in Dima from wherever
Okay.
we see him. It's not explained how old he is or where he came from. He doesn't even know. He just showed up there. His bishop is Keon's. Hears rumors of the old world, goes outside, wants to see what's beyond the walls of Dima. During an annual assembly of the glorified, Clancy and a group of rebels escape at night, trying to meet the banditos. Clancy is the only one to escape, but he doesn't meet anyone. He's eventually caught and taken back. That's when he goes out, he sees them, and then like Nico takes him back. Returns to Dima, he tries to escape again. Um, he tricks Nico into driving him out of the city. Okay, this is Heavy Dirty Soul. I messed this up. I said it was them taking him to the city. This was him tricking Nico to take him out of the city.
Okay.
He causes the distraction while they're on the road, like sets the car on fire and escapes into Trench. That's when Clancy escapes. He explores Trench for an unexplained amount of time. He runs into the banditos. He gets indoctrinated, but Nico smears him. Um, he's inspired by the banditos. So that's the jumpsuit music video. He gets captured and taken back. Um, Clancy is dissociating through this entire event. And does not recognize until later that it actually happened to him. Okay. Okay. So Clancy's letters when he's like, guys, look what happened. Tyler got smeared. That was actually Clancy watching it from an outside point of view. So they are one and the same in a way,
Okay.
I think.
Gotcha.
Okay, he's back in Dima. He coordinates with the banditos to escape again. Bishops are busy with a vialism ceremony, so they get out. People in Dima are inspired by seeing the banditos. Okay, at some point, Clancy spends a few years in prison. During this time, he becomes a bit of a legend. The bishops harness his fame and force him to write propaganda, skilled and icy. Um, Clancy performs in Skilled and Icy, so that was Clancy, not Tyler, or Tyler slash Clancy, however you want to see it. Um, yeah, Clancy performs on the submarine. He's guarded by fake bishops. They're not real bishops. Um, so Torchbearer has snuck onto the submarine, Josh, an escape plan. Keons betrays the bishops and uses psychokinesis to possess the sea dragon trash to destroy the submarine and free Clancy and the Torchbearer. So Keons is trying to free them. Um, okay. Okay. So Keons helps to free Clancy and the Torchbearer. So he switches sides.
Okay.
And this is all the stuff from Skill and Icy I didn't know. Um, so the other bishops kill him. Clancy and the Torchbearer watch up on Voldsoy and discover Neds that give Clancy the ability to use psychokinesis. He uses this to control the vessel of Keon's corpse and starts a fire in Dima, which burns down that tower, I think. So they went on the island for rescue. Apparently, the Torchbearer had this planned out the whole time. Ned has a cozy little cabin, apparently. Clancy making propaganda may have just been a long term plan coordinated by Keons and the Torchbearer to get him to the island so he can learn psychokinesis. So there's a theory that Keons was working with the Torchbearer from the beginning. Clancy's now a weapon to be used in the final war. He gets ready to cross the Paladin Strait to return to Dima. This is our new album. So they return to Dima on the boat. While on the boat, Clancy uses psychokinesis to possess a glorious gun and teach anti-Dima lessons inside the city. A rebellion starts to brew. These rebels wear red tape. Clancy leaves the body and returns to his own as him and the torchbearer arrive on the shores of Trench. That is the Overcompensate music video. Okay, now I'm really done. How are you feeling?
I am feeling educated. Um, I do still have to pack for my flight that leaves in about 6 hours.
I am so sorry.
But
I told you this was going to take forever.
I am glad we didn't do it yesterday because we would not have been able to go as in depth.
Absolutely not.
But I appreciate you doing all this work because that was
It was
crazy.
so fun. Also, these are my sources shouting out the Redditors and the
Hey,
Discords, and
Redditors really saved the world. Sorry, they
the
do.
master doc was really helpful. Yeah, you guys can still go to dmaorg.info, any of that.
Hmm.
If anyone's interested or wants links to any of these things, hit me up. I got it all. I can
Wow,
post.
snaps for Amelia. Snaps for Amelia. That was awesome.
I love a research project.
Yeah,
Um,
you're good at it
yeah,
too.
that's what I got for you guys.
Thanks for enlightening
Just a
us.
little bedtime story.
Y'all do not send a video of yourself in. That's
No,
you being indoctrinated. Like, do not send a video in.
it doesn't exist anymore. They took it down.
Did any of your like old friends send in videos? Do you know?
Probably. I don't know. I wasn't talking to them then.
Valid.
Yeah,
Valid.
falling out happened before COVID. But
Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, I urge you all to look more into this if you would like. If not, I hope this was at least entertaining.
Yeah, it was.
And
It
now me
definitely
and
was.
Lucy don't have to film for like a month because we have so
Hey,
much content.
we now know everything there is to know.
We know so
Well,
much.
guys, we are prepared for the rest of the lore to drop. We can be involved in the rest of the lore.
I'll give you guys little updates if anything happens.
Yeah, you should. We could have like a 21 Pilots update corner of our podcast. You update us every.
We yeah, we should start like a bunch of different Patreons. We should have like a Five Nights at Freddy one, um,
I
21
do want to
Pilots
do
one,
another Five Nights at Freddy's
please.
because I
And
kind of want
also,
to talk about how the movie's different from the game, but I
oh
also want to
shit,
talk about Security Breach, which is the
and
one of the newer games.
you can get a PowerPoint up there too, so you can like recap and show some
Yes.
images.
Oh, that
Um,
okay. I'm gonna start on that.
Also, I think you guys comment if you would like this or if you wouldn't. Let me know if you're not interested. Um, when Clancy it comes out in May, I believe. Should I do a video?
Yeah,
Should we do an episode after we listen?
absolutely.
I wish we could
Um,
publish us listening together, but
mm,
copyright.
I did just get a text from Naomi, and she said new Babel episode was crazy. I was not a Larry believer at first, but you guys have me convinced.
Good.
So we've convinced one person over to the Larry side.
Yeah.
Anywho,
So exciting. All right.
thank you guys
Love
so
you
much for
guys.
listening. We love you. Shout out to Amelia in the comments. Send her your love because she worked so hard on this episode and it was so
I've
good.
been so brainwashed for this. I feel crazy.
All
Okay.
right, love and
Love you
kisses.
guys. Mwah.